Well, this is a 90 odd hectare property nestled in the inland slopes of north central Victoria, mainly woodland vegetation communities. So we have grassy woodlands and heathy woodland vegetation communities here. The species associated with that have had a really hard time in Victoria. There's a whole suite of woodland birds that are declining throughout the landscape, and quite a lot of those exist on this reserve, like brown tree creeper, diamond firetail, hooded robin, black-chinned honeyeater, those kind of birds.
It's possible this is swift parrot country here. The area just to the east of us is a large reserve, a nature conservation reserve, and it's known to be one of the best swift parrot observation sites this time of the year anywhere in Victoria. And we believe that this part of the world, which is not very far away, is similar.
There's also really big trees on this reserve. It's very uncommon to still get them in remnants like this, and we do think there's going to be some interesting species that we're going to find when we really closely examine those trees and do some proper monitoring. There are about 8 orchid species exist in this reserve, 3 of which are nationally endangered. So it's very exciting to start working with those and to start working with the orchid experts and trying to increase their population and really look after them properly.
It's in the broad box ironbark region, but it's actually a much more complex picture than that. It has ridge lines with heathy, stringy bark country, and it also has gullies with grassy woodland, and it has a little pocket of granite with grassy woodland on it as well. And box ironbark forest is present in places as well. So it's quite a rich mixture of habitat types and also different growth forms, large big trees and smaller regrowth, and a mixture of understory species in very good condition.
We generally in Victoria, we have a system of scoring out of 100 points the condition of a particular piece of bush, and this block would easily score in the low 80s. So in the general scheme of things, it's extremely rare to find remnant bushland in such good condition. So that is one of the main features, and with that comes the density of particularly really large trees with good hollows and good habitat for threatened species.
We're working very closely with local conservation management network and Parks Victoria, local councils, the CMA and other groups through the CMN, and we've been particularly playing a role with helping them with strategic planning, trying to figure out the long-term direction of the conservation agenda in this area, but also most particularly our ability to purchase properties and to act decisively and practically in protecting private bushland areas of significance like this is a key role that we can play now and into the future.
In an area where there is not much land in the National Reserve System, it also actually links up some other remnants that are very important, and it starts to become a part of a general biolink through central Victoria, which enables threatened species like the birds, the woodland birds I mentioned before, to move more freely through the landscape, exchange genetic material and become more viable. So the goal is we'll have a vibrant ecosystem working here, and all the threatened species that do exist here, the goal is that in 20, 30 years from now, those species will still be around. They wouldn't have dropped out any further out of the landscape, but better than that, they'll actually be thriving here and they'll be breeding, and the threatened plants will be having more than one population, more than just a few individuals, but they'll be thriving and existing all over the place.
We've done some national assessment and prioritisation of properties, and this particular part of the world is an area that the board has decided they want to focus in, and within that, this is a particularly special area that has a large amount of bushland still left unprotected, which is quite rare in central Victoria. So there's a big aggregation of unprotected private bushland here, and this is a part of it, and we're keen to be a major contributor here in protecting as much as possible.
Is that safety on reserve?
Safety at work.
But wouldn't you expect them to be coming back now?
Yeah, so
Like,
that's what we're keeping our eyes. Well, see, this way your wallabies come in really big time.
But do you think
So-
wallabies are going to be a problem on this property?
I think we're seeing quite a lot.
Yeah, just
so we've
there
got
at
to
the
sort of
minute.
monitoring their seeding and everything over the next few years.
But the dead ones are just because of the drought, is that right?
Beauty.
You're the coat about that before. Looks like a
Lovely.
It's lovely. And it's got a friend over there.
And ever since we started last year shooting kangaroos, and everything has picked up again from that.
Really significant, and that's one of the better shoots.
Four days into owning the block, and already it starts to deliver us botanical surprises. This is a plowshare whortle, or Acacia gunni. Not a threatened species officially, but it is severely declining in central Victoria, and it's always a pleasure to find pockets of this still remaining in good quality bush like on this block.
And okay, Paul.
So it's a kind of complementarity. Yeah. Just, But from a greenhouse perspective, there's a carbon.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah, it is. I think that branch there